Hey, I'm Reverend Doodly Noted, and we're checking out a brewery. We're gonna test some oat sodas and see how beer's made. Smithworks Brewing Company, an excellent brewery, if I say so myself. All the beers are named after Germany, but there's no Nazis or nihilists. At least I can believe in their ethos. Oat sodas, man. Come on in. We're in the brewery, dudes. So the beers are bottled and totally done. The carbonation stage is in the bottle, right?
Correct. They go in flat. Yep.
Right on.
It goes in flat and then it ferments again in the bottle.
That's the freshest stuff.
And it's old school. That's the way they used to do it because there wasn't a pressure vessel before. So that's almost done.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit 2 bar.
Yeah.
So, but that's how you do traditional Bavarian wheat beers are done this way.
Perfect. And then you basically set them up at the right temperature at that point.
They're fermenting right now at this temperature, which works for us this time of year. In the summer, we gotta cool it down a little bit, but
cool.
We're at 65 back here, so it works out well.
Right on.
So, cool. Made by the Voyageur Canoe Company.
I was wondering, man. I was thinking we were
they know how
going
to do that side of it, but I had to tell them how to do this side.
That's like a canoe.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's made in the Canoe Company, so except it's made of oak. So that's how we mix it all up. That's how we mash in. There's no mechanical. It's actually done by hand.
That's old school.
For the German beers, we usually have 4 or 5 steps. Temperature rests. So we mash in at like 113, 112. We go to 122, 146, 156, and 170. It takes like a good hour and a half to mash. And so that's steam fire, so it's quite a bit. But the Germans, especially for the wheat beer, you want to mash it through the full regime. We feel it gets more body and you get a truer wheat beer out of it. We could do single mash, like a single infusion mash, but that's, you get different flavors.
That's marvelous, man.
It's a different style of beer. Some beers, you have to do that to get that style, but the Bavarians, they mash a lot longer. And then from here, after that, we want to separate the grains from the sugar from the grains. It is all very sweet right then. So we converted all the starches to sugar. It's very sweet, and they call that wort. And then we actually spray hot water on top, and this has got a big screen in the bottom. So it's like a big sieve. And we actually wash it out, and that's called lautering. The spraying is called sparging. We put sparge water on, and that takes about an hour, over an hour to sparge. You slowly have to rinse it, and then it goes into the kettle. In the kettle, we bring it to a boil. That's where we add our hops. That's where we boil off about 8% of the volume to get the off flavors out, and that's where everything gets sterilized, of course, in the boil. And then after the boil, we boil for about 90 minutes. Then we whirlpool it. Let it settle. That takes like another 40 minutes. So because there's a bunch of hot break in there, a bunch of hot matter, and we want to leave that behind. So the whirlpool, it'll all settle in the middle. It'll settle in the middle of the vessel, and then we pull off the side. That's why the valve's on the side of the tank. From there, it goes to the heat exchanger. We want to cool it to fermentation temperature as quick as possible. It still takes an hour. We put cold water through the one side and the hot boiling, basically boiling, through the other side, and we get it down to about room temperature, 65 degrees. The lagers are in the 50s. It's even colder.
Cool.
It's called krausening the beer. So there's 2 definitions there, kind of. So that's what we do. The fermentation's 5 days. It peaks out, and then we crash cool it. Let it settle, let the yeast settle out. We transfer it to one of these vessels for bottling. We'll chill it down to 50 degrees. Then we'll add fresh wort from that previous brew or the brew we're doing. We add enough wort to get the sugar content to carbonate the beer in the bottle. So we have to bottle that day. We add that, it starts fermenting again. So we put it in the bottle.
The carbonation is in the bottle?
Yep, all my beers are flat when they go in. So So we ferment in the bottle. That's for a wheat beer. That's how they do it over there traditionally. It takes another week to carbonate, and then another week to mature, or 2, and then it's sort of at its peak for the next month or so. You can still drink it green. I always do. I'm always drinking beer at every stage. I do quality control in the front too. So
it's a tough job.
It's a tough job, and never trust a thin brewmaster.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Not doing a good job if he's thin.
I think I could probably do this. I feel confident in my skills.
So we don't have any money, so we have to build our own. But it's pretty much automatic, semi-automatic, I'd call it. So we got to sanitize the bottles by hand. But once we put it on there, it'll fill automatically and cap automatically.
Yeah, I want to check that out.
So it's right now everything's sort of ripped apart because everything gets sterilized bottling day. But there's 6 nozzles that go on there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
and that just goes up and down.
There's the nozzle.
And there's a gate, so it'll read 6 bottles and then cycle.
It's not like Shots Brewery. No. It's much more. There's a lot more love going on with this approach here.
So it'll come through here, and then that sensor sees it and pushes them in one at a time to the capper. It'll pick up a cap. This is the cap sorter to fill that with caps, and it'll orient it and present it as it comes by, and it'll pick up, and then the piston just hammers on it, and just one at a time. It's pretty quick. The fastest we've gone is 700 half-liter bottles an hour.
700 half-liter bottles an hour.
Yeah.
That's far out.
Well, it's about 12 pack a minute.
Yeah.
12 half liters. So
that's real efficient, man.
So the 2,000 bottles. That's about 2,000 bottles. Well, 3 hours.
And the label?
The labeling machine's right over here. What this conveyor is.
That's the label maker. The label machine.
Yeah.
So
that's the fastest part.
I see the spindle there.
So what time you put the label? Once you think it's ready after the carbonation process?
Eventually we'll do it at the same time. Right now we do it separately just because it's another we're so new, we want to expand on this and work out some of the kinks. That's just one more thing to go wrong during labeling day. And then eventually we'll actually package as well because we're going to be in the LCBO. So now we got to go faster.
Fantastic.
Now we're putting everything in the same box, right?
Yeah.
Whereas before we're making sample boxes and everything, but some of the Keller beer will just be mass produced production.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to be efficient.
What is the size of that bottle?
These are half-liter German bottles. So this is what they use over there, and they're also stronger, so they can hold the pressure.
Yeah.
Regular economy bottle wouldn't work. It'd be too dangerous. These will hold 3 times more pressure.
So when you're finishing the beer in the bottle, you have less chance of having it break during that, and then the capping process, the pressure of the machine coming down.
Now the capper is the same for anything.
Yeah.
But the Belgian and some of the wheat beers are, they're 2 to 3 times more carbonated, like a champagne, right?
Gotcha.
Ours can't get that high sometimes, but you need like a champagne bottle, basically. That's what these are the same pressures as champagne.
All right, so here we are. We're at the flavor station. As you can see, we all have a vast array of beer. All right, so this is the dark, and this is the Oktoberfest, and this is the strong Belgian. So if there's any strong Belgian dudes out there, this would be yours. I like the looks of these. I'm going to try each one. All right, so this is the dark.
How's the blonde?
How's the blonde?
Excellent.
Does she have nice legs?
Jeffrey, love me. Hey man, the blonde took my robe. Okay, so this is the dark.
I like that dark.
And it's unbelievably smooth.
I actually like them all.
Rich.
Oh yeah?
The aftertaste is so
It's a little citrusy.
Smooth. And there is that banana. You got that banana? Did anyone else get that banana? In the dark? You got the dark, dude?
I got the dark, yeah.
Do you taste the banana at the end?
You taste something, yeah.
Feeling monkey.
Actually, yeah.
I'm feeling monkey-esque, man. All right, so that reminds me, I got to talk to Steve from Brand Van 3000 and have him on the show. It's a party. It's a party in here with beer. All we need is bowling and it'd be far out.
I wonder if I can come in just like to get a regular beer but get the variety pack.
Yeah, you can.
Right?
You can buy like a variety pack of beer in here.
Well, I mean to sit down with the little glasses. I kind of like sipping a different one each time.
Do you use
You know?
You get one bottle that's cut into 3. You open up the top, pour it out. Open up the next section.
Ooh,
This is the Oktoberfest, man. It's like
the dark lager, yeah.
I'm just saying.
it's got a smooth taste to it. It's not quite as full of flavor, but it's more drinkable. So if you're like a lager guy, but want to try something really rich, that would be the Oktoberfest, man. So that's where I'd go for that.
I find the dark kind of has a smoky finish.
Yeah, it's awesome. I totally dig the dark. That's my thing, though. You know, it's not a Miller High Life or anything. All right, so here's the Belgian Strong.
You ain't got no more Miller, huh?
What, you got no more Miller High Life? 2 oat sodas, Gary. I got 3.
Takes a lot of a man to ask him to change his beer.
Be right back.
Whoa, the Belgians. I just seared my eyebrows. Now, if you're viewing this somewhere where you only get domestic and cheap beers that really don't taste good, then this Belgian Strong would knock your head off, because it's like, straight up, it's like a very liberally poured White Russian in a beer. That's marvelous. So I'm going to dig into this. I'm going to talk to the brewmaster a little more, and we're at a brewery. Hey, it's Reverend Duly Noted. I'm going to be talking to Ellie about brisket, because I dig brisket. And this is authentic Texas brisket. So I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna let her know, you know, what this brisket's all about, because I'm gonna get to taste it. All right.
Okay.
So,
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
So we're gonna check out some brisket with our beer, which is far out. So how do you do it? Because it's
Well, it's a long process. You have to do it long and slow. And I smoke it with 3 different types of wood, authentically Texas style.
Nice.
So it takes about 24 hours to do the whole process.
Whoa.
And it's lots of fun. And we also have the pulled pork. It's really, really good. And you've got to get the taste of it and tell what you think.
yes. All right. Well, I'm down with that.
Brisket.
Brisket.
Chili.
Fantastic.
Texas chili.
Texas chili.
And you are a true Texan.
I am a true Texan.
This is Texas Pete hot sauce. We're not allowed to get this stuff here in Canada, so even though our chef is legally from Canada, I think this was imported.
$100.
Okay, so this was the chili, and this was the brisket. As you can see,
I went in to talk to Josh.
the brisket didn't have a chance because it's too darn good, and the chili is unreal.
What? No, it was open.
So I would highly suggest coming to Smithworks on Friday or Saturday. I'm a chili fan.